here. Mac. Willie, how you doing? Glad to be here again.
Good, Kevin. Great to be here again. Should be a good day's racing. There's good horses running, and we're excited about it.
Of course, you mentioned the day's racing, and that's what we're here for, of course. Today, predominantly or exclusively timber racing. This morning had pony racing, side saddle racing, some carriage driving, the whole lot. There's a lot going on here, something for everybody, you'd say.
Something for everybody, and you can see there's a great crowd of people here. Perfect weather, autumn weather here. I got some of the heavier jackets out here today, but it should be a good day, and a lot of people having a lot of good fun.
Now, of course, we mentioned it is timber racing, so every race here run today, the 3 races that we're going to cover, will be timber racing. And timber racing in the United States is meant to reflect what fox hunting would look like if we were in pursuit of a fox. Willie, you've ridden around this track here. It's a little bit different to a lot of other tracks in that it's undulating, it covers a lot of country. It's definitely a challenge for horse and rider, would you say?
Yeah, definitely, Kevin. It's a definite test of a horse's stamina around here, and a huge test of a horse's jumping. They're quite a big fence here, undulating course, like you said, and being out on the course, had a walk around. Going to be a good test of stamina today here, running on softer ground here today, and it'll be a test for everybody.
It will indeed. Of course, the rain fell in Maryland this morning and elsewhere around has gotten into the ground here, so you'll be absolutely asking a horse to get every yard of the 4 miles that it takes to win Pennsylvania Hunt Cup. Of course, this is the second last day of the 2017 season. There's a lot on offer that we spoke about before. One of the big things that we're going to be focusing on today is the Jockeys Championship. Willie, you're a former champion jockey yourself. I know Sean McDermott and Darren Nagel are locked at the top there. There's only 2 winners between them with only 2 days racing left, and there's a couple more lads just down the line there. If they have a couple of good weekends, it could come close, but we'll have main eyes on Sean and Darren today, I would think.
Yeah, both Sean and Darren have good chances of riding winners today, so it's going to have a huge influence on the championship. Obviously there's only a racing, 1 more weekend of racing, so it's tight there at the top. Darren Nagel's gone to 16 winners and Sean McDermott's on 14. So a winner for either of those 2 guys today could really could be a teller on this year's championship.
And of course, Willie, neither of the 2 of them have ever been crowned champion jockey before, but you have. In 2014 you were champion jockey. Would you give them any last bit of advice coming into the last couple of weekends?
To be honest with you, Kevin, you just kind of got to keep your head down and keep working at it. It is, as much as you want to think about it and let the pressure kind of build up there, it's you got to try and block it out. And actual fact, the pressure used to help me. It would drive me even further to try and do as well as I could, but that was just me. Everybody's different, but there's these are going to be very important rides for both of them. They're only going to ride less than 10 races for the rest of the season, so it's really down to the last digits now. And like I said, a winner for either of them would be huge now today.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, that's just one of the things you have to look forward to. And let's get right into it. The horses are just arriving in the paddock for what is our first contest of the afternoon, which is the maiden timber. 9 horses going to post here. A lot of them have a little more experience than some of the maiden hurdlers that we've spoken about in the past. Number 1 is Our RJ, trained by Regina Welch and ridden by Byron Moorcroft.
Number 2 is Wits in Stables, Dur, William Dowling, and Jack Doyle's in the saddle today.
Bruce Fenwick owns and trains Daddy in the Dark, who's number 3, ridden by the timber maestro Mark Beecher.
Number 4 is very locally trained Devil's Brew, Elizabeth Correll's the owner, and Graham Waters is the rider.
Irvin Naylor will be surrendering his champion ownership this year, but Take Points and runs in his colours, trained by Billy Meister and ridden by Bethany Bumgarner.
Number 6 today is the What Did You See? Very interesting Tappet runner here. For Grey Lake Stables, Ivan Dowling trains, Darren Nagel rides.
Number 7 is Captain Easy, owned by Paper Mill Farm, trained again by Billy Meister and ridden by the Cup winner.
Number 8?
Number 8, yeah.
Number 8 is Touchdown Tony. Joe Davies trains Sean McDermott, important ride for him here.
And number 9, concluding the field again for champion owner Irv Naylor, El Jefe Grande, ridden by Gustav Dahl and trained by Cyril Murphy. A lot of horses here, Willie, with plenty of experience. I was looking down through, there's plenty of age on a lot of them. I think Doer comes in there. I can't believe he hasn't broken his maiden over timber yet. A great servant, originally trained by Mike Leaf. Willie Dowling then got him. Of course, Willie having a cracking year. Nobody begrudged Doer if he managed to put his head in front today.
No, and I was actually just down in the stable there beforehand there. I talked to Willie. He's coming in here. He likes his chances coming in here. Very experienced maiden, which is a huge factor coming around here over these bigger fences. So and the horse has been around here also last year, so that's going to stand to him today. And be nice to see Willie Dowling on the winners board. And
he was second in a similar race in Geneseo as well, so he should be coming in match fit as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's after being second in every race. You know, he's after being placed. A very, very experienced maiden, and hopefully he'll get his head in front today.
And then I take you down to number 5 there, Take Points and Run, Willie. A horse that was considered fairly high class over hurdles. Billy Meister, probably nobody better in the whole country at transitioning a horse from hurdles to fences. Yeah. Bethany Bumgarner taking a valuable £5 off today. I mean, look, form can sometimes go to winnow in a maiden timber, but I'd never rule out any of Billy's, and he looked a high class hurdler.
He was. I mean, I probably wouldn't put him in the high-class hurdler bracket, but he was a decent hurdler, good ratings horse. He was trained originally by Dave Washer down in Camden. Dave claimed him off the flat and did very well with him, won his first 2 races with him. And Billy acquired him then and ran him a couple of times over hurdles and now has him running over timber. But he did always look like the type that was going to go on and be a timber horse. He's got the size, he's got a lot of scope, and we'll see what he can do today here over these bigger fences and a bit of softer ground.
Absolutely, and I was talking to Sean McDermott prior to the racing today as we see the jockeys coming out to get onto the horses now, so they won't be long before the start of our first race. But he rides Touchdown Tony. Eric Peretz has ridden him before. Eric also rides in this race riding Captain Easy. Yeah. He's a quirky kind of a sort, but they say that if he decides to put his nose in front today, he could be as good as any of them in the race.
Yeah, Kevin, Touchdown Tony, believe it or not, I rode him myself a few years ago in a maiden claimer down in Middleburg, and I remember getting off from that day, and my words to Joe were, I don't think I got on that well with him, but I ended up pulling him up, and I mean he's been running fine. He broke his maiden and all that, quirky start, but he's got the experience like you say, and I'm sure you know, with Joe Davies' record of trained these horses over bigger fences, he's going to be able to jump around here just fine.
We'll say there now where Eric Peretz riding Captain Easy has been a regular partner with Touchdown Tony. Would that ever come into a rider's head, Willie, when they're beyond the course, that they'll be thinking about the other horses that they have ridden in the race, or would that be more thought about in the pre-planning of how they're going to ride?
I mean, be honest with you, Kevin, and I can only speak from personal experience. Just gone out there and riding in the race. I'm kind of thinking about riding my own horse, what I'm doing in the race. Obviously, you're trying to be as careful as you can. You know, not that you're going to be doing anything wrong, but and if I'm familiar with any of the horses in the race, you know, that's something that I'm trying to use to my advantage, understand their running style, and see what we're up against.
Yeah, absolutely. The bottom horse here, Willie, El Jefe Grande, Gustav Dahl, Cyril Murphy. Had a couple of horses run very well last week, a couple of second places. Cyril hasn't had a most bonny falls, but he has to be due one. El Jefe Grande may not be the one, but he's one I certainly wouldn't discount.
Certainly wouldn't discount him, no. He's got a bit of place for him. Looks like he's coming in here. He looks like he's sitting on a win, this horse now. He looks like he's ready to get it done. Of course, like you said, Sir I was over in Tattersalls this week at the horse and training sale, and Sir was over there making some purchases for next spring, so be interesting to see what he comes back from there with. But today, concentrating on El Jefe Grande, has definitely got a good shot here in this first race. Absolutely,
and I mean, for the day that's in it, Willie, when we look at maidens, obviously none of these have won over timber before, and as I said, looking down, it's surprising that some of them haven't won. Believe it or not, I actually rode Doer myself over maiden hurdles, which will tell you how long ago it was.
He must be a great jumper. Did you get him around?
He's a wonderful jumper, and I got him round twice actually, believe it or not, but that goes to the credit of Mike Leaf, the trainer at the time. But Willie, how would you think tactically riding a horse with a little less experience on a day like today? Would you be more inclined to take a lead and get cover, or would you be more inclined to show your horse as much light as possible?
Well, Kevin, I mean, it totally depends on the individual itself. You'd been hoping that prior to here, you'd got a chance to sit on the horse at home and have a school on him and understand him, and then you kind of plan your race accordingly. Then I always found that a horse today was going to be, giving him a chance to have a little slow fence or that early on. I would always kind of try and jump him off more prominently so that you can allow him to have a chance, to take back at a fence and still be in a good position. Whereas if you kind of jump off with the opinion of your schooling around at the back and you have one or two slow fences at the beginning, then you're out of contention and the horse doesn't really learn anything. So that was just my own personal way of doing it, and you'll definitely be trying to get your maiden horse here if you think he's inexperienced. Try and get him into a good rhythm early, get his confidence early, and just sit there and hopefully have a nice spin around in.
Absolutely. Now, Willie, I see the riders are just getting up with their horses now, so we're not that far away from the start of our first race, probably only about 5 minutes or so, and we'll actually be up and going. Knowing again that you're not riding today, is there any particular one you'd like to throw your leg over?
Yeah, I love this horse of Ivan Dowlin's here, the Tappet horse. Don't see many Tappets running over jumps. Of course, Tappet's a phenomenal sire here in America. Probably one of the top ones here now. Very high stud fee he carries, and he's got multiple graded winners and graded stakes winners on the flat. But today we're looking at this horse here in a maiden timber. I don't think he ran too much on the flat, or maybe didn't run at all on the flat. So he may have been one of those babies that was going to take a long time and didn't get a chance to be a flat horse, which can sometimes be a good thing. When they go on to be a steeplechaser, that they haven't got too many miles on the clock and the legs are fresh. And this horse is coming in here. Looks like he's done well around the bigger timber. He's had a couple of experiences. He was placed or third or fourth at My Lady's Manor in the spring. That'd be quite a good test of horses jumping, and to me, I mean, that puts him in here with a real good shot. He's been around Geneseo also, so no problem with the jumping. I think he liked the cut on the ground. Spoke to Ivan Dowling down in the stables beforehand, and he's fairly hot on this fella now, so it's going to be a good race.
For those of you at home wanting to pick out that horse, of course, he's number 6, What Did You See? And he's as white as snow going off there. He's the only grey in the field, of course, by Tappet. Tappet knows how to stamp him. For me, I'm going to go for number 2, Doer. That's just heart over head. It's a horse I'd be very fond of. As I said, nobody would begrudge him if he won. Horses are about to head down to the start here, so probably only a couple of minutes now before the start of our first race. An exciting day's racing, Willie, and I suppose we'd like to wish everybody the best of luck, that they come home safe, and all the crowds here on the day, massive crowds here for the Pennsylvania Hunt Cup, and we'd like to wish you all at home the best of luck watching, and we'll be back to you as soon as the first race is over.
Written by Bethany Baumgartner. Number 6 is Great Lake. The flag is up. They're all in line. And they're off and running. Daddy in the Dark goes to lead at once, and they go out of sight immediately. When they come back into view, they'll be heading towards the second of 15 fences. Daddy in the Dark had the lead before they went out of sight. Our RJ now on top. Daddy in the Dark follows in second place with Touchdown Tony in third. Take Points and Run races in fourth, followed by What Did You See racing in fifth place as they clear the next fence. Our RJ on top. Bethany Baumgartner with Take Points and Run racing in second place. Daddy in the Dark follows in third by Touchdown Tony. Door is there in the pink silk. Racing towards the fourth fence now. Our RJ and Byron Moorcroft setting the pace and opening up by about 8 lengths. Daddy in the Dark and Mark Beecher follow in second place. Touchdown Tony goes well over that one. Captain Easy follows in fourth place with Door in fifth. Take Points and Run and What Did You See completes the field as they're strung out a bit this first of 2 times to go around. Our RJ leads the field out of our view once again. When they come into sight, they'll be heading towards the 5th of 15 fences. Our RJ had the lead when they went out of sight. They come back into view. Our RJ still on top. Daddy in the Dark follows in second place. At the fence, our RJ running and jumping with the lead. Daddy in the Dark jumps in second place. Touchdown Tony with Captain Easy racing in 4th place. They're all a good ways behind our RJ, who sets the pace as he heads towards and over the 6th fence. Our RJ on top. Daddy in the Dark is followed by Touchdown Tony. Captain Easy. Dora is there also with Take Points and Run. And completing the field is What Did You See? They race around the turn and will go out of sight once again. Our RJ leads them out of our view. Daddy in the Dark follows in second place, and Touchdown Tony was in third as they went out of sight. Our RJ has led most of the way. Still has the lead when they went out of our view. And here they come, our Danny outside, racing in 4th place under Eric Ports. Door closer up in 5th place. Take Points and Run, completing the field. Take Points and Run, dropping a bit farther off the pace. Our RJ now on top by about a length, maybe 2 lengths, 2.5 lengths. Racing in second place is Eric Ports and Captain Easy as they race up the hill towards the next fence. Captain Easy is followed by Daddy in the Dark, Touchdown Tony, Durer in the pink silks, and a good ways back to Bethany Baumgartner and Take Points and Run. As they head now towards the 10th fence, our RJ, where he was the first time around, on top, but now his lead is only about 5 lengths. Going well in second place is Captain Easy, now moving just a bit closer to our RJ. Daddy in the Dark with Touchdown Tony and Sean McDermott right alongside. Durer follows, and completing the field, Take Points and Run. When they come back in the sight, they'll be approaching the 11th of 15 fences. Our RJ has made all of the running. Captain Easy follows in second place. At the fence, our RJ jumps his jock out of the irons, and he's a lost rider. Now racing down towards the next fence, Captain Easy and Eric Ports on top, but here comes Mark Pitcher and Daddy in the Dark making up ground on the inside. Tour is there also. Touchdown Tony follows in 4th place, and it's a long ways back now to Bethany Baumgartner and Take Points and Run. They race up the hill towards the next fence. Daddy in the Dark now has taken command under Mark Beecher. Close up to him is Durer and Jack Doyle. These two are vying for the lead, with Touchdown Tony racing in 3rd place as they went out of sight.
It was a nasty fall when he got up. A little bloody though.
This is their final time to go around. When they went out of sight, Daddy in the Dark had the lead. Durer was racing in 2nd place. Here they come, Daddy in the Dark with about a 2.5 length advantage over Durer. Sean McDermott trying to make up ground with Touchdown Tony as they head towards us and the last 2 fences. Daddy in the Dark on top, Durer trying to get there on the outside. Touchdown Tony follows and jumps in 3rd place. As they race down towards the final fence, Daddy in the Dark under pressure to hold off Jack Doyle and Durer. They head towards the last fence. Daddy in the Dark on top, Durer and Striker Memorial. Touchdown Tony finishes 2nd. and I believe everybody else pulled up.
Damon, we're going right in. This time.
I'd like to draw your attention to the area in front of the judges' stand. That's H. Bruce Fenwick's Daddy in the Dark, trained by the owner and ridden the victory by Mark Beecher.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome back after the conclusion of our first race. A very eventful first race, Willie. Just the two finishers, of course. Two horses going down to the last, neck and neck. And unfortunately, Doer just tipped up an unlucky fall, unlucky racing fall. But take nothing away from the winner there at all. Daddy in the Dark and Mark Beecher.
Yeah, great ride by Mark Beecher there. He had him pretty close to the pace all the way. Like we said beforehand, Kevin, real test of stamina around here, real test of jumping, and we can see, I mean, there was only two finishers, but I think everybody was up okay. Byron Moorcraft was unseated off number 1 RJ, he's okay, and Gus Dahl, we just talked to him on the way back in, we seen him walking back in, he was okay, and Jack Doyle was also up. He fell at the last and he's okay, and all our horses are okay as well.
Just as important, I was going to say, all horses appear to walk past. We see a couple more just coming back here, horses coming back in. But this track is no joke for these horses. They really do have to jump and stay every yard at what they have.
Yeah, they have to stay and jump around here, and it was a great test of riding ability there also. Mark Beecher again, he's a dream man in the saddle over these bigger fences, and we can, you know, just what he showed us there, just goes to what he can do.
Yeah, because it would have to say the plan had kind of changed for Mark as soon as Byron Moorcroft came off his horse. As soon as our RJ unseated, just got away from the stands, Mark was left in front, but didn't appear to panic, didn't appear to change tack, just continued on rhythm, confidence like you spoke about beforehand, and ended up in the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference, and that's where somebody that's comfortable in their own ability, in the horse's ability, will not panic in a situation like that. Obviously, Mark was wanting to probably have a lead for as long as he could, and when the other horse went out of the race, maybe 4 from home, he had to make the decision to go on and be in front in, and it was a wise decision. He stayed galloping well, he jumped well coming in, and it was a good ride, and of course trained by great Bruce Fenwick down in who trains down in the Maryland Hunt Cup course, of course, and that's a teller too. I mean, sometimes when you go to these different timber racing tracks, the timber fences that you will be jumping will be kind of coincide with what you'll see in the countryside that the people would hunt over there. So of course Daddy in the Dark came in here well able to jump a big timber fence, and good training performance by Bruce Fenwick. He had a couple of starts already this autumn, and he was good and fit there today, and Mark Beecher gave him a nice ride.
And of course, I was just going to say, Willie, that the Fenwick name synonymous with timber racing in Maryland and Pennsylvania, and Bruce no different to his brother Charlie, but I would suspect, and if you were to get Bruce in a room by himself, he would love to win the Maryland Hunt Cup, trying to win the Maryland Hunt Cup. And do you think a horse that can come here and break his maiden in Pennsylvania, it's a good place to start to win a Hunt Cup?
Yeah, Kevin, it's definitely a good place to start. Of course, Daddy in the Dark has got age on his side as well. I mean, he's only a 7-year-old, which is quite young for a timber horse, and I would count it quite young for a horse to be able to tackle a fence this size. So he's somebody that they could be looking at. Of course, usually the Maryland Hunt Cup, the ground is going to be a little more firm than what they're racing on today. But he definitely looks like he'll be able to tackle those fences, and I'm sure Bruce might have that at the back of his mind.
No question at all, and of course delighted for Bruce and all connections with the winner of our first race there. Daddy in the Dark, a horse that was pretty okay over hurdles as well, but it just goes to show there's yet another career for these horses to come back and jump over timber. And today it was a $15,000 purse. It's nothing to be sniffed at, and that horse has probably paid for the gas money home. Yeah, of course, and he by again Bernardini, very very good flat sire Bernardini. We talked about Tappet before the race.
but you know, you can see these very well bred horses. You know that they make fantastic jumpers, and it just goes to show with Eddie in the Dark. They're big fences, and you know, it's nice to see a Bernardini up here winning in style like that.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean, you have to think class is permanent, and these horses, no matter whether they're winning at the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar over the weekend or the Pennsylvania Hunt Cup, they have to want to win, they want to take part, they love the sport, and we just give them yet another outlet to come, and for owners and trainers and for the people here to get so close to them, it's fantastic to see that, Willie. And of course, we go up a grade now in our next race to the non-winners of 2, which is somewhere Daddy in the Dark will probably go after this, but we've only got the 3 runners. Willie, do you find that this will present a whole new set of challenges? Wanted only 3 runners, you've got to have one in front, one behind and one in the middle, but horses again, the stamina, the confidence, the ability to jump will come into play here. But of course these horses all have won a race already.
Yes, Kevin, they have all won a race already, and it'll be like you said, a small field, tactical battle, and you know, the best horse will win on the day, like you say, but sometimes tactics can you know, play a part in that also, and you know, a good strategic move in a race by a rider, or you know, by a horse, a good jump can be the win and losing of a race also. Absolutely,
and I mean the 3 horses in our next races, we'll focus on those as soon as they come, Willie, for the next race. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back to you very shortly. We've got some representatives from Mellon Bank and also the Cheshire Food Bank, so join us in about 5 minutes and we'll be chatting again very soon.